As a kid, I loved asking my mom to tell me the story of how she picked my name. My favorite part of this story was that she prioritized picking a name that she liked in both Spanish and English so that my grandparents who only speak Spanish can pronounce it. In English, Alyssa, Spanish, Alisa. One name, pronounced two ways. I moved between the two with ease. As I got older, though, I felt a divide. Moving to a predominantly white high school, I felt like I could only be Alyssa. I felt too white to be Mexican. Embarrassed to claim Alisa, I opted out of having my quinceañera. Alisa continued to live in my grandparents' home and in my trips to Mexico. In those spaces, I was wrapped in Spanish, warm tortillas, and the warmth I grew up with. The divide felt irreparable, though, as I moved across the country for college, no longer able to visit Mexico and far from my family. Confused by my identity in high school, in college I was asked to define it. Unsure of where I fit in and becoming even more aware of my whiteness and its privilege, I felt guilty and unable to claim Alisa. My white outweighed my Mexican, and until my last semester, I could count with less than one hand my Latinx friends. Then life handed me a reset button. Desperate to speak Spanish again, I moved to Spain a bit before coming to Cambodia. Shy at first, eventually, Alisa crept out. Bold, unapologetic, even more loving. I began to claim my hoops, wear my curly hair proudly, and do my makeup how I'd seen my mom do it. The absence of Latino culture in Cambodia has called for me to maintain my rediscovered pride and preservation of myself. I proudly tell my friends what both sides of my family are like, the traditions and foods I grew up with. I share words from my second language that I love. Because I look like I could be fully white, though, people have taken that as a comfort to tell me their real thoughts about Mexicans. I've heard the legal should just go back to Mexico. The criminals should just go back to where they came from, and worse. From family members, people from my childhood, church, and more who knew I was Mexican but were comforted by my whiteness. And each time I'd match them, telling them that if their view of immigration of humanity was so narrow that I wouldn't exist, their ignorance and lack of empathy are threats to my existence, to my family's beautiful story of immigration, education, and giving back, to the people I grew up around who prioritize a safe place for their family to thrive too. My heart breaks with each new story of people being taken by ICE. Over 8,000 miles away from my community, I feel helpless. I have no solution. But in the meantime, I engage. I ask family members to recount their stories. I ask questions. I listen to the banda music that brings memories back and hope. I'm proud to be Alisa, as I am proud to be Alyssa. I'm proud to come from my family of immigrants and grateful for where they've brought me today.